Hey y'all, it's Betsy with Happily Ever After Excitted, and welcome back to another book video. So today I am working on my 2026 book journal. This is something new I started this year that I'm really enjoying. I have done journaling for years on this channel, but I've never had a book journal before. I am, like I said, really enjoying it. And for the first time, it is January's month. I'm going to be working on some book reviews. So y'all have seen me setting up the planner, filling in some of the recording stats, but I've printed out a bunch of just artwork and I have stickers and washi tape and things. I'm going to do some book reviews. So I read 22 books in January, and ideally in the future, I will be reviewing the books in my journal as I go. Like I'll read a book, then review it. But since I was still setting up my planner, I was not able to do that for January. So of the 22 books I read, I think I have 6 that were 5 stars or above that I actually want to do spreads for. I don't know how many will get done today. This may end up being a longer video, but I just kind of wanted to bring y'all along for the journey. So got the 6 books, got artwork that I printed out. I may buy things in the future. I may get special stickers, but for now, while I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want these reviews to look like and what I enjoy and how I want them to work, I don't want to spend too much money. So I am trying really hard. My main hobby is buying things for my hobbies, to not spend money on my book journal until I decide how I want to use it. So I went old school and I just went online and kind of found artwork that I liked, and I printed things that I'm just cutting out and going to be using as my character art and stickers. I didn't buy anything short of a few printable stickers, but those were only a couple dollars, so they don't count. Either way, I will put a list up on the screen. I know I'm doing, let's see if I can remember, Caraval, the Unearthly series, the Wolf King, and so, I mean, especially those 3. I read all of them. I read all 3 books in the Unearthly series. I read all 4 books, 3 books and the novella. And the Caraval series, I read the Wolf King and the Night Prince. If I did a spread for every single one of those books, that's 10 spreads right there. So for series, if I read the whole series in a month, I'm doing 1 spread, and I'll include my review for all 3 or 4 books on that spread. I also read a novel love story. I really liked that one. I think that was my top book of the month, followed closely by The Wolf King. This is where I start to be like, what did I read? Like I said, I will put a list up on the screen, so if you want to jump to just that review, you can. I cannot remember for the life of me, and I spent all day yesterday looking up artwork for these things that I wanted to use. Very good use of my time. I enjoyed it. But we're gonna get started with the first one, and the first one for the month was Unearthly. All right, y'all, so if you can't tell, I got a little ahead of myself last night when I was setting up for this video, and I just wanted to see how my first set of kind of images would work. So I have been kind of deciding what I want my reading spreads to look like, and I have done a combination of buying stickers like this one and printing out my book covers, printing out and cutting out imagery from the books. Like I love this image from the first book and I wanted to incorporate her. And then just some stock images that I got. And so I've kind of done this for all my spreads from January. In the future, I think it'll be better because I'll be doing it as I go as opposed to doing a whole month at once. But since this is the first time I'm doing it, I kind of just wanted to see like how they were fitting in the book. Because as I was gathering them and putting them on an Illustrator to print out and get them all ready, you know, I kind of was arranging them in my brain on the page to see like, oh, how many stickers do I need for this? Now, of course, you can print these on sticker paper. You could cut them out with your Cricut. Things like the ones from Redbubble or Etsy, you can get printed stickers. You can get printable stickers. There's all millions of ways to do this. I wanted to use as much imagery from the books, my special editions, as possible. So you'll see that as we go. But some books don't have a lot of imagery that's easy or high enough quality, even taking photos of my books to use. And I will put as much details in the description down below for like if I bought a sticker, where I got that sticker from, or if I used imagery from a book, what book that was, or if it was from the artist who did that book, who the artist was. Obviously, I don't own any of these, even the printable images I purchased. I didn't design anything. I'm using it all for my own personal use. I'm not going to sell anything. I'm not going to give you all the files. But if you want to know where I sourced them from, I will give credit to everyone that I used down below, and you can go purchase or source them for yourselves. There's my caveat about that. So I think this is pretty much the layout I'm going to do here. I'm still not sure where I want my title to be. Maybe over this angel wing, or maybe going down this way. I keep going back and forth on, do I want to just write out my titles because that would be 8,000,000% easier, or do I want to cut them out with my Cricut, which would be fancier. I tend to go for fancy over easy. But again, when you're doing so many things, I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and just start putting these together. I'm going to start gluing in since I kind of know exactly what I want. I think for series like this one where I read the whole series, all 3 books, I'm not going to do a separate layout for each book. I'm going to do one layout for all 3 books. I will put, you know, what I rated them, all the things. So I'm thinking I'm going to put some kind of details when I read it or what I rated it over here, and then my review. We will see. I'm figuring this out as I go, and of course everyone has their own ideas. So either way, I'm excited to finally get stuff in the book, and I just have to keep telling myself it's all a personal project. So if it's exactly perfect, it's not really going to hurt anything. Just do it how you like it. As long as I like it, that's the goal, right? Right? Alright, so I am using a tape runner. This is what I always use. And I do just use a bit of Cricut paper from a transfer sheet. I keep those to put under like cutout parts of things so that I can not get sticky all over my desk, which is something I've done many, many, many times. All right, now I have a specific way I want these wings to lay. So I want it to line up between here. I'm going to cut off the edge and here. And now, obviously I could have gone through and put sticky on every single edge of those feathers. I really don't think that's necessary. All right, so I think for this one, I'm going to kind of do it, I don't know, I go back and forth on, do I want this to touch? I think I do. And I am going to put washi tape over some of these things since I don't have, you know, just a full angel image. I like this paper for what it's worth for my trick to put my tape over because it's from the transfer tape. It's slick, and so the tape doesn't stick to it. If I just use a spare piece of paper, then the sticky will stick to the paper, which is fine if it's scrap paper that you're gonna throw away, not a big deal, except that eventually your scrap paper is covered in sticky and you risk, you know, getting sticky on the front of the next thing you're taping. And then you have to throw these away. Whereas this, it doesn't get sticky on it. It stays on the tape roller or on here. And so I can just reuse this over and over and over. You all needed a tip on that today. That's my main one. Okay. It's gonna be so cute, you guys. I'm so excited. Okay, this side's gonna be more fun. So I'm thinking we'll do the wing first, then our top and bottom, and then the book covers and the boots. And then I think I'm gonna draw a line there. We'll see. I am gonna have to cut those off. I will say, since apparently I'm talking to y'all a lot today, that I bought this tape runner from the store because they were out of the purple one. The purple one is a micro dot, and I like it so much better than this. This is like a clear sheet of sticky, I guess, like a piece of double-sided tape almost, but it's glue. And I don't know, I find that it goes over the edges. You have to clean it up. I thought I would like it better because it was clear, but the blue dots, while they are blue, and so on like clearer stickers, you can kind of see through them, which I'm not a fan of. They don't go in the holes. They stay on here a lot better. And so like for this, I'm gonna have to go back through and I just use a little weeding tool, but you have to clean it out of there or it just lays down on your paper like that, and then they're sticky on your paper. Not the point, y'all, not the goal. You'll see more on these, what I mean. All right, so here and here. Perfect. Let's go ahead and clean these up before I do the rest. I am probably going to put y'all on fast forward and not talk through the entire video because I have like 6 of these to do. And while I don't mind talking to y'all the entire video, it would make it a very long video to do this in real time with conversation. So leave me a comment in the comments down below on, do you prefer to watch this kind of stuff sped up? Or do you not care how long it is, you want to see and hear in real time? So I feel like most people don't want to necessarily watch me chit chat for 3 hours, however long this is going to take. And of course I could do the videos with the talking one at a time. But if I start doing 6+ videos a month of reading journal spreads, and I'm not saying I wouldn't, it's gonna be a lot more book content on this channel, or I guess planner content, than I typically do. All right, so see, this is what I mean. I now have to go through and clear out all these holes or they will be messy and sticky on the front when I lay this down. And that's not a problem. For some reason, the blue or the purple tape roller with the micro dots it just goes over them. It leaves them empty. It doesn't leave anything in there. I guess because they're dots, they're not connected, whereas this is a sheet. And so I can see, you know, I do like this one for, you know, like long squares and things. I really like the micro dots more for things with holes and scallops. And I've used a lot of this. This is literally a scalloped piece of edge paper pack that I got years ago for scrapbooking. I don't even know where I got it. Maybe somewhere on clearance though. And I just thought, oh, that'd be fun for something. And I've never used it. It's literally been sitting untouched for years. This thing is gonna have to be cleaned off of sticky when I'm done with this project. And then I pulled it out for this reading journal this year, and it's been one of my favorite things to use on a lot of my spreads. And of course you can get, you know, scissors that will cut edges really fun. I have some somewhere. You could use your Cricut to die cut out things. But this is just a sheet of like already cut borders. They're awesome. I'm like, maybe there weren't more than one. And I haven't used it in like the 10 years I've bought it, but now that I'm using it, I wish I had more. Plus it's all my colors. There's 2 pinks, a white, a blue, and a gold. I've not used the gold because I'm a rose gold girl, but I'll probably use it at some point in my reading journal. It would be really pretty on the We Who Will Die spread because there's a lot of gold for that one. So new idea unlocked. I think that's actually the spread after this one. Good idea, guys. Definitely get some Gooby Gone and clean this off after this so I can still use it for plenty more things to come. All right, let's cut the edges there. All right, y'all. I don't know if you noticed, but it was pretty late last night when I finally finished. And instead of quitting and keep going today, I just turned on my lights and kept working. So I apologize for the lighting, but I just really wanted to get these done. So here is a look at how they turned out. First one, Unearthly. I definitely love this. Also, I don't know if you noticed later, I spent a lot of time putting my tape on this because for some reason I keep forgetting these frames are stickers. So I'm not going to, but I could just peel this off. It's the backing that's stuck down. I also go back and forth when I did my rating scale. I left the space for stars to be 6-star reads, hearts to be 5-star reads, and then there's a little like starburst that's going to be 4-star reads. I'm not going to be doing full spreads like this for anything under that. That way, if I have room for all 5 stars, great. If not, a heart here means these were all 5-star reads for me. I still have to add in my individual pages here, but I will probably do that off camera. So here we have all 5 stars. We Who Will Die. I go back and forth. Most things when I design them, I like to use, like my colors, pinks and rose golds and purples, blues, pastels. I don't really like to use golds or blacks. They're just not my vibe, not my thing. But for my book reviews, I do think I'm going to match them to the books. Most of the books, special edition books that I have, are typically pastel kind of vibes because that's what I like and that's what I pay for. Of course, that does not take into account anything I read on Kindle, like this. I did read these books on Kindle. Or like with We Who Will Die, my Fairy Loot books, because Fairy Loot sends me things. Either way, I loved The Wolf King. I'm not sure about the Night Prince. I know y'all are going to kill me, but I'm not a huge fan of Blake yet. I really, really loved Callum. I wanted him to be like her main guy forever. I don't think he's going to be. I think Blake is going to be. And I need that to come full circle for me. I can see how it will. But as of right now, I still really like Callum. And I'm clearly not impressed with the Night Prince. You can see there's that 4-star starburst as opposed to the 6-star for the Wolf King. So Wolf Queen, I'm hoping will bring it back around for me because I really, really loved this book and I still love the world. And I'm guessing it's going to be a Tamlin Rysand situation. I liked Tamlin in the first book until he started getting all creepy. I've not had Callum become creepy for me. So we'll see. 2 more individual pages and then Daydream. This was a very simple spread, and even like the title here is Pearl, so it's hard to see straight on. I feel like I need more little stickers that I can put all over, but I just didn't really have any, and that's fine. I kind of just used the imagery from the book, and I thought it turned out very sweet and simple, and not everything has to be, 8 million stickers deep, but I do typically prefer that. Caraval. I loved these books. I got the Acrylics set for Christmas, and I loved the artwork, so I really wanted to focus heavily on that. I did use a few stickers, and then Spectacular, I couldn't find a straight shot of the cover, and for some reason when I took pictures of the artwork and the cover, I didn't take one of the Spectacular book, and it has gorgeous artwork. So I just grabbed one online from Acrylics, and it is, I should have done this upside down. Oh well. It is this one here, and I kept going with my review. I did think of it afterwards. I still have space here, so I could write more there, or I could put another sticker there. I could put this right here. That would be super cute. So I honestly will probably do that because I actually really like how that looks. I was going to save it, but I really wanted it to go on this spread, so perfect. Ooh, of course. Why wouldn't I mess that up? There we go. And these two were from a sticker pack that I've had for a while. So, all right. I love it. Little tip-in. And last but not least, we have a novel love story. I cut all these out. They're from the hardback of the Fairy Loot version of the book. And I just thought they would be so cute to include all the little buildings from the town. And I loved how it looked. I do wish I'd had this color pink or this color pink for story, but it's fine. It's fine. I also did, if you didn't notice, end up cutting all my titles out with my Cricut. And if you ever want a tutorial on that, I can do one. I did it real quick and easy. I just used my phone. I use standard Cricut fonts, not ones that are in my personal collection. And I just made them as basic as I could while still working with each book. And I think they turned out really pretty, so I'm very happy with it. Either way, that is all my books for January. And if you watched all the way to the end, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next one.